Alright, y'all. Welcome to episode 8 of the Purposeful Talk podcast. And I have the man, the myth, the legend, Ralph here. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, man?
Yes, bro. Think it, speak it, live it.
Exactly.
Manifestation, man.
Thank you for having me on.
This been in the making for about, what, a month now?
It's busy schedule.
Yeah, it's been a month, yeah. So we finally got here now. But we definitely going to get into it, man. So first and foremost, let you introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are, man, and what you're about. And then we're going to get into these questions, man.
Say less. All right, I'm Ralph Thomas Jr., everybody. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, a native Memphis, Tennessee. Actually went to middle school with him. Went to Ridgeway Middle, graduated from Ridgeway High. Went to the Russ College in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Shout out to Russ College, all my Rustites out there. Recently graduated with my master's in the Master of Arts of Teaching. And I've been an educator for going on 4 years now. This will be my 4th year. So I've taught kindergarten, 1st grade, 3rd grade this past year, and now I'm going to be teaching 2nd grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's up, man? Congratulations on it for your master's and all that stuff, man.
Thank you. Congratulations to you, too.
Yeah, man. I know. But, we just always striving for more and stuff like that. But when did you know that you wanted to be an educator? Like, what was that? I know we went to school together and stuff like that. Like, what moment sparked for you that was like, man, I need to be an educator?
It definitely wasn't in school when we was.
Hold on, what about more? Man at Ridgeway said,
that is where I found out who I was. That's where I found out I had a voice per se. That's when I came out of my shell doing it right there. Shout out to Dr. Richmond for that. That's why I came out of my shell. But I didn't want to become a teacher until I actually got out of college. After I graduated, undergrad, that's when I wanted to become a teacher. So I did pursue my degree in child care management. So I had my foot in the door with education, but I was always working. I've been working since I was 15, so I was used to getting fast money. But when I did my internship at this Head Start, I want to say I forgot what it's called, somewhere in Mississippi. But I did my internship there, and there was no men in there. I was the only man in there. I was a young man. Yeah, no men at all. It was this Head Start. So I walked in the classroom. I met the teacher at Dollar Tree. I kind of told her what I was doing. I needed an internship. And I walked in the classroom. The moment I walked in the classroom, all of the kids just ran to me.
Just gravitated to you.
Hugging my legs and stuff like this. So I was like, man, it's an amazing feeling. So I was just sitting there and I just watched her. Like the first week or so, I'm watching her. Watching how she do a morning routine. Watching how she engages with the kids. But I'm also watching how she's talking, but they looking at me. Trying to see what it is I'm going to do. So the week after that, I got with her. She showed me some things and let me kind of lead things like the morning routine. Something small because I didn't know too much. But she let me lead the way with that. And so from there, I was like, okay, I kind of like this. So in the neighborhood that I stayed in Holly Springs, Mississippi, the neighborhood that I stayed in, there's kids out there. They see me coming out of the house. And mind you, it is undergrad, so they see me with, girls or whatever. They see me, they come talking to me. The young men, they come talking to me like, what you do? How you get this? You work at Dollar Tree? I see you out there, my mom, blah, 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 But it was 2 young men that I kind of gravitated towards more than the rest of them. They said their father wasn't around. I didn't get too much into that. I didn't want them to tell me too much or more than I needed to know. But I kind of just kept them close and let them come over and play the game and stuff like that. And the younger brother, he played basketball. He was like, he needed some shoes and stuff like that. So I got my frat brothers. Shout out to Alpha Fraternity Corporate. Got my frat brothers. And we, got them some shoes and stuff. But I felt fulfilled being able to do for them, using all the knucklehead stuff that I did from my younger years and just seeing how because they was like, use profanity and stuff like that. I'm like, I was doing the same thing at that age, but now I know it's not cool. I could try to talk to them and guide them on a different path. So once I started doing that, I was like, okay, maybe this is for me. But I did graduate college with like a 2.7. Something like that. And certain programs I couldn't get into to do education. I know I tried to do TFA a couple of times. They denied me twice. So I kind of felt as though I wasn't going to be able to get into it. And I was in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. So once I moved back here in 2019, I was working at Sprint on Winchester. I used to always run into somebody in education. Principals, assistant principals. Past superintendents. Like then I met Dr. Washington. He's over Man Up. Met him. I actually tried to sell him some phones. I was a good salesman. I'm trying to sell him some stuff. I looked at his car, asked him what he did and stuff like that. He told me. I was like, man, I met like 4 or 5 different people in education while I'm here. And I want to do this now. Like, maybe this is what I need to be doing So I went pursuing more opportunities. That's when I came across Freedom Prep, and they had a program. So that's when I came across Freedom Prep. Okay. They had a residency program. Basically, what you do is you come, you be a teacher for them, or you be an interventionist for them while they're paying for you to pursue your master's and get your certification. So I was like, okay, that's a great opportunity. Now, I was making great money at Sprint, but I was like, they're gonna pay for me to go to school, and I still, I get to become a teacher. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So that's kind of how I got into it. Freedom Prep gave me a chance. I gave them the same, the same store I gave TFA. I kept it real with them. Look, I got like a 2.6, maybe a 2.7. Send them my transcripts and everything. They gave a brother a shot, and here I am today, 4 years later. I'm in the game.
This is powerful, man. Like this inspiring me right now. Like after that, I guess you said your second time you applied. Well, first time you applied twice, right?
Well, I applied. They denied me twice. You know what I'm saying? I was being authentic with my story. Like, look, I came from a single parent home. I did this, I do this. I'm working with the inner city youth right now. They denied me. Freedom Prep all about black kids. Like Freedom Prep got nothing but black and brown students. TFA, they gonna take somebody that can just make up some stuff because they got a high GPA. Take them and they gonna use them. They gave me a chance. I'm not dumb. I've always been like class clown. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna do enough to get by. I never liked school. You see what I'm saying? And so Freedom Prep gave me a chance just on the strength of my story. And then once they got to interview me and get to know me, see what I'm about, I've been excelling ever since then.
Yeah, I hope y'all listen to him, man. Like, he literally showed you all about resiliency. Like, just because you got there 1 no or 2 no, that don't mean that you gotta stop doing it.
I got two of them. I thought it was over with for me.
And they hurt. They hurt. Like I related to me when I was trying to get promoted military to a staff sergeant. I missed it 3 times. Like, and it hurt every time it hurt. It was like, bro, like I know I'm doing what I gotta do to be in these positions, but why is it not hitting? Like, why is it not paying the dividends it needs to? And it's a frustrating state to be in because you know you. Right. But the powers that be don't know you.
They don't know you.
So with them, when you in the moments, you're like, man, like I'm doing on paper, like I'm writing a story or I got my performance support and all that stuff all in line. So I don't know why I'm not getting picked, right? And then I know you probably can relate when you finally did get picked up for what you wanted to do. That feeling was just,
man, I was crying, dude. I was every time I was late, I was like, man, I'm finna go to, like, I don't like school, but they finna pay for me to get my master's degree, something I never thought, because I'm the first one of my mother's kids to go to college and graduate from college, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm first generation college student. I'm like, not only did I do undergrad, I got my bachelor's, I'm possibly finna get my master's degree. Yeah. I turned down the money. Like I said, I made good money, great money at Sprint. Like, I'm sales, so I'm getting bi-weekly checks, commissions. Commissions was lovely. You see what I'm saying? $1,000. Guess how much I was making my very first year as a teacher. Now, mind you, I have a son. I have my only son at the time, my first child. I was getting paid $30,000 a year. Oh my God! Before taxes taken out, $30,000 a year as a first year teacher. That's the sacrifice I made to get to where I am.
You basically did the LeBron. I took out my salary, man. Go to Miami. Like, I did that for real. Yeah. Man, oh my gosh. So,
it was hard.
But like, I think I talked about this in my last episode. I was like, sometimes the money don't matter. Like, it's like, you feel good about what you're doing. You know, you feel good doing it too, but you feel, when you're doing your purpose, bro, it is what it is.
But it was scary out here, it is though, because I didn't get hired into the very beginning of the pandemic. So I left Sprint to become a teacher's assistant. Like, by any means, I was gonna get my foot in the door because I haven't heard back from Freedom Prep yet. I applied for Freedom Prep. It's a funny story too. Shout out to Mrs. Cook. So the principal of Freedom Prep at the time, I was working in Sprint and I met Mrs. Cook at the time. Shout out to Mrs. Cook. She one of the ones that helped me get my first opportunity. I'm in Sprint. I'm rushing. I'm late to work. You know, and now she was coming down the wrong side of the aisle. But what I did was I saw her open the parking spot. I'm late. I don't know what you're gonna do. You might be going to the nail salon. You might be going to Kroger. I'm finna pull up in this parking spot. It's either me or you. She had a big Dodge Durango. I'm in the little Nissan Sentra.
No, not the Sentra.
I pull up. I get in the parking spot. Hop out, run in the store. So I go to the back and get everything I need to get set up for the day. So I come back to say, hey, Raph, you got an angry customer in the store. I'm like, angry customer? I'm like, I never do bad business. I'm like, I ain't sold no faulty plans. I'm very thorough with everything I explain. So I go out there. Guess who it is? I lay down the cut off. So I go out there. She like, you know, you cutting off that park spot, right? I was like, well, yeah. I was like, but you also know you came to the wrong side of the aisle. That park spot technically wasn't for you, it was for me. And so, you know, we kind of like laughed it off or whatever. I go back to the back. Then my frat brother, he worked there. He let her know that, you know, I got a degree in education. I'm looking for XYZ. You know, shout out to Cheston for this. So he threw me the line. I come back out there. She gave me an email address. Emailed him. Went to this little mixer that they had downtown, seeking, you know, teachers, first year teachers that want to, you know, give it a try. Yeah. Went downtown to the. Now I've always, even though I've been social, I'm also an introvert. So I don't really like going to places and meeting new people. I like to go places I already know folks. Yeah. So I walk into this mixer and I'm just feeling out of my comfort zone. I just take a deep breath. I'm like, I'm here now. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, give it a shot. I walk around, talk to the teachers that are already teaching there, talk to the people that are like there. Like me, meet the HR people, stuff like that. And they send me the link, fill out the application. Like I said, everything's been history from there. Just that one all it takes is that one interaction. Like you have to be able to be uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I had to step out my comfort zone, talk to this lady, talk to all these different people, put myself out there. I went there with resumes, all different types of stuff. You know, I could have got denied on the spot, but I gave it a try. That one moment changed my whole trajectory of my life and my career. And I always wanted to work with the youth. I want to be some type of mentor. I just feel like my purpose is to help people positively, because that's how AMP even got started. Think, Speak, Live It. That's how it got started. I was in college and undergrad. I was drinking it was made by Mountain Dew. I think it's called Amps. I was drinking it in the class. It was energy drink. I drank it in the class. I just looked at the words. I was like, man, I could do something with this, because Amp ain't like to like turn up or, you know, have some energy. I was like, but what if I come up with something? So I never went back to that idea until I was living in Phoenix. And Phoenix was peaceful for me. I love living out there. Phoenix was peaceful for me. I was overweight, out of shape, depressed, going through a lot of stuff. Didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. And me and my older son, we went through a bad breakup, stuff like that. And I was dating another young lady, and that wasn't working out either. So I was just eating McDonald's, I'm overweight at this point. I'm like 35, 40 pounds overweight. And I just started working out and climbing these mountains. Phoenix got a lot of mountains. Climbing mountains. One day I went up to the mountain, I just stopped. I just started thinking. I went back to AMP. I was like, okay, how can I didn't have a lot of, people wouldn't notice, but I didn't have a lot of confidence in school. It might look like I had a lot of confidence, but deep down I really didn't. But, you know, I'm like, how can I turn AMP, that drink, into something for me? And I just started, it was like the summer of 2019. I wrote it down. I was writing different things down. I sent it to my mom. I sent it to some of my friends. But I was like, what you think? It went from always something myself. Then I went always motivating something myself. Then I was like, okay, always motivating myself positively daily. I sent it to my mama, sent it to my frat brothers. They was like, I like this one. I like it too. Stuck ever since then. So then I was like, okay, I wrote this down too. The power of the pen is really true. I ain't really believe in this, but I wrote this stuff down. I still got this. I still got the folder to this day. I wrote it down. Like, I want to have a podcast. First I wanted to be called Get It Off. Like, people that's angry and upset, got a lot of stuff on their mind, that just call it, just, you know, talking shit. Then go from there. I was like, okay, can't think of the name right now. I'm just gonna start recording stuff. So I started Googling podcast stuff. Found what is it called? Anchor. Found Anchor.fm. Found it. I just started recording. Just went to my mom's office, just started recording. And I hate listening to myself talk. So it's like I record and probably never go back and listen again. I just put it out. You know, that people start listening. So like you said, people need to hear these different types of stories, because just because you don't have all the accolades, just because your name is not out there, doesn't mean you don't have a story to tell people, to inspire people.
Yeah, everybody has the level of curlability.
Right.
In general.
Exactly. So like you said, those no's that we get that hurt. You got told no 3 times. You know, I got told no twice, and I was really ready to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But true. Having that inner drive in myself, like, you know what? It doesn't matter what this agency thinks of me, this organization thinks of me. I got one more opportunity. I could have just said, all right, forget it. I'm doing good here at Sprint. I'm going to just settle for this. You know, be content. I don't think you should be content and be complacent. You should always strive for better. Even if you get told no, because I love to listen to motivational speeches and motivational videos. Yeah. It seems like all the greats, they failed a lot of times.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm great. Only way I'm gonna know, I gotta try something and fail.
Yep.
Man, I became a teacher in the pandemic. Is the worst ever. Trying to teach kindergartners on Zoom and get them to actually look at these PowerPoints and stuff like that, but it was the most challenging thing ever. I quit at least 100 times in my head. I'm sitting on the computer like, man,
they not paying attention.
I wish their mama would make them sit down. Like, I'm texting them on the side, hey mom, mom throwing little slick shots. You look nice today, Mr. Thomas. I'm like, yeah, but I need you to get, you know what I'm saying? I need to get I need to get them to have a seat. And that was challenging, but you know, those kids so resilient, bro. Like, the kids are resilient. You'll be surprised to think that they wouldn't learn. Like, I was questioning myself, how they gonna learn? And we can't teach them how to write because they're not holding pencils. So they really made us teach, us as educators and parents. We had to be creative about how we were going about education at the time. Oh, we was having them write things, and they had to take a picture and send it on to the platform that we was using. And me being a father at the time and listening to my son, he's also in kindergarten while I'm teaching kindergarten. So he was attending Freedom Prep, just in a different classroom. So I'm just listening to him and listening to what's going on in his background, paying attention to what's going on in my background. Like, man, hey, if the pandemic didn't teach us nothing as parents, you gotta be there for you. You gotta invest in your own children's education. You can't put everything on the teachers. And I can say this because I am a teacher.
Can you repeat that one more time?
You have to invest in your own children's education. You cannot put everything on the teachers. You have to advocate for your children as well. And I can say this because I'm a father with a son that's in 3rd grade. He's going to 3rd grade. We've been talking about this. The hot topic has been the 3rd grade commitment. I have a son. I got a son that's going to the 3rd grade. My son is reading on the 4th grade level. He's going to the 3rd grade. He's already reading on the 4th grade level. That's because I work with my son. His mom works with him. My fiance works with him. We challenge him. My son know he's smart, but I try to get my oldest son. All my kids are made. My oldest son, he a trip. It remind me of myself. But he got way more confidence than I do. Like he'll tell you, I know this, Dad. I know this. But he make careless mistakes though. You see what I'm saying? I know this, Dad. But because he feel like he know it, he just gonna try to fly through it, make a few mistakes. But that comes from parents being on his behind. No. Before you play this Fortnite, before you play Call of Duty, let's get this lesson in.
Discipline.
I need about 15 minutes to read. I need about 15 minutes to read. Come tell me what you read about.
Not exactly. Yeah, so discipline, bro. Yeah. Discipline is the huge thing. Now, I want to ask you too, like, back to your story, elaborate on like the placement piece, because you said you read Sprint and all of that. Like, I don't think people understand how when you're placed in certain places, you're there for a reason, because somebody is gonna be there. Like the lady you were driving, and who knew that was one of the people that catapult you to where you at. Like, I think people sometimes think that. I've been there too. I was like, man, I work at Kroger, man. Like, I don't know what does this mean? Like,
Kroger, that's my first
what does it mean? What does it mean? Like I met Kroger at 28, 29. I got the military, went straight to Kroger. So I'm sitting in Kroger, like, man, like why am I here, bro? Like, this is making me mad because during the pandemic, like, everything was shut down. They wouldn't hire people. I was trying to get a government job and stuff. Like, it was frustrating, but I don't think that people understand that whatever job occupation you are doing, it's people flowing through there every day. Right. It's people flowing through every day.
And you have to really sit where you are and understand why you're here. Like you said, you was questioning, like, why am I here? Why am I here? I do that a lot. I still do it to this day. You know what I'm saying? Different places that I'm in. But being in Sprint, and just working, like you said, Kroger. I started working at Kroger at 15. Kroger's the job that I had the longest in my life. I worked at Kroger. I probably gave Kroger like 10, 11 years of my life. 10 to 11 years of my life. I worked from Kroger from the time I was in the 9th grade all the way up until my senior year of undergrad. And, you know, what I learned from there is how to talk to people. Because you have to give great customer service to people. Like, that's a must. If you working in a place where there's gonna be customers there, you have to provide great customer service. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to build relationships with people, how to smile. Even when I didn't want to smile, I learned how to do this. And I think being in Sprint, and I didn't even want to be here at Sprint. I was working as an assistant store manager in Phoenix at Sprint. You know what I'm saying? Then I came down here. I had to take a pay cut because they didn't have the position for me here. But my son was here. I was like, I want to be closer to my son. Again, I had one child at a time. I want to be closer to my son. So I moved back down here and just said, all right, well, look, I'll take this position until something else opened up. And I ended up making more money than I was at the assistant store manager position. But just taking those opportunities to get to know people, not just sell them something, actually have real conversation. Because we had a lot of downtime too, so I was talking to my managers, talking to my coworkers about different things. I was literally telling them, like, look, I'm gonna do this is what I'm gonna do. I was like, man, I'm gonna be a teacher. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I done talked to several different teachers. I feel like this is what I'm gonna do. And I was just telling them, like, teachers don't make no money. Some of them be like, teachers don't make no money. But my friend would be like, man, go ahead and do that. If you wanna do it, go do it, man. It happened. If they could attest to it right now, they if you had a phone, they call it like, yeah, I remember him talking about it. I remember him saying he was gonna do this, he was gonna get his master. Yeah. I did.
That was so. I think definitely the power of the tongue.
The power of the tongue,
man. You gotta speak like exactly like you can speak your living like this. Those three principles, as long as you have pure intentions, like your life is gonna pay dividends later from this stuff. Like you said, you were writing down stuff, right? Like writing down stuff, having a plan and stuff like that. Like I think those things help elevate you in your life because it brings that security of knowing something is gonna happen. Right. Like you could be doing something very minimum right now. Like I said, the person probably working at Kroger or whatever right now. Like you could be thinking about, man, why am I doing this? But you could be like, oh man, probably next 5 years I'll be a teacher, or next maybe 3 years, whatever. Yeah, like just keep moving in the right direction. Every move matters, and as long as you go into that 1% to the right towards it, you're fine. You gotta congratulate yourself on that. I feel like now we're in the society. People compare so much, man. Like,
man, I struggle with it though.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that it's so magnified now because we got social media and all this other stuff. But when you look at yourself, I think what we fail to do sometimes is give ourselves grace and be like, man, like you came a long way in general.
See, like, but I'm my biggest critic. It's hard for me to be like, oh, I did this. You know what I'm saying? I'm my biggest critic because I feel like I should be well off than where I am right now, and I don't, but I also understand that.
Do you think you're hard on yourself because you're competing with your future self that's not even here yet?
Man, I think I'm hard on myself because, bro, I've been on social media since MySpace. You know what I'm saying? And now I understand that we've been socially programmed. If you're not mentally strong enough to handle the things that you see, I understand. Like, okay, it might be some people in my age. I'm 31. Might be some people in my age that are really like 6 figures, making millions coming from where I'm coming from. But when you constantly like seeing different things, and like I watched a movie on Netflix, it's like a documentary that just talk about how if we look at a picture for so long, they already got us. They know this what our interests are. So they purposely putting stuff out there that they can make it. They trigger me to make me feel like I'm less than or I'm not doing enough. And sometimes I have to take mental breaks from social media, bro. Because I be like, nah, I feel like I need to be at this point. I want to give my fiance this. I want to be able to give my kids this. Man, he 25. He able to do this, that, and third. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? I need to take a break from that. You know what I'm saying? I need to recenter myself, get away from it because it is a lot of it's toxic. It's toxic. It's great to have social media. It's like a catch-22. Yeah, it's good, but it's bad. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be able to balance it. That's why I don't understand why kids have it. Like it's some kids, man, 3rd graders, TikToks, Instagram, and
looking at kids that's in Beverly Hills, bro. Like, you remember?
I do a lot of preaching. I'm not a preacher.
Imagine being in Memphis and looking at a kid in Beverly Hills. You like 5 years old. You see this other 5-year-old got a mini fake Ferrari.
My son used to do that with this kid named Super Saiyan. He loves Super Saiyan. And he really thought Super Saiyan was driving the car. I was like, man, it's YouTube. I was like, yeah, his parents have this stuff. He not really driving. My son like, Dad, can I go move your car for you? Hell no, you can't go.
That's the thing that's crazy about it. Like they look at it. I think the other thing kids do, they look at other kids open these unboxing, like the phones and stuff like that. Like it's just crazy how it just we didn't have it when we were younger, and like I think that's why we are so strong because we didn't have that going on in our time. We were younger, like we were outside most times like that, and then when social media was coming about, it was just like, man, we moved me from your top 5. It was stuff like that.
You don't have to go to school to see MySpace. Like MySpace was on the phone. You just come on to it. Now it's like
it's accessible. And then like when it gravitated and when Facebook came, it was just statuses. And you couldn't do nothing. It was like just that status, and it was just like everything was building up. But I think at that point it was safe. It was a safe space still because it wasn't that crazy and the other kids' interaction wasn't really the negative stuff. Right. Like, I don't remember times where like somebody was like really, really negative on my social media when I was like in high school. I don't remember that. I just think that when it comes to now, it's just people just keeping up with the Joneses and they just keep robbing their own happiness. Though I said, I asked you earlier, are you competing with your future self? Because I've normally, when it comes to social media and stuff, I always think about my future self that it isn't here yet, and it's like I'm thinking about him. The 2030 version, because it's like the 2030 version of me is not gonna be like 2023, but the 2030 version, he's well off in life, but I'm 6 years behind. But so it's like that mentality there is like it hits you, but it's like okay, 6 years, or whatever.
You got an optimistic look, and I like that. What I do is because I was horrible, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't worry, man. You want to do your homework.
It's like
I bet we had a special guest, Ventura, in the building.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, ain't gonna be like Blanch. hear his voice. Tell him what's up, man.
What's good?
Yeah, he's in attendance, man. We got our first guest.
He worked on his masters too.
Yeah, he worked on his masters too. So we got our first guest that's in the background today. But yeah, man, like you were saying, you were talking about it like the social media piece. What you were saying?
Man, I like to look back. Facebook and show you stuff that you just said over the years. I was horrible, bro. The stuff I used to say in high school.
You use 3 or E? Which one you do? You use 3 for E?
I use 3 for E. I was not using certain letters and all types of stuff. I was talking reckless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking reckless. And I like to look back and like, damn, I said that?
Come on, John.
And then I said that. Then I would go back and apologize to people because like people always tell me how I was in high school. I like to believe I wasn't that bad. I know I was. I know I was bad, but I don't like to think I was that bad. But like when people like come tell me like, man, you made a whole 360. I'm like, I was that bad. But then Facebook remind you, yeah, my nigga, you was that bad. So I like to see, like, dang, okay, I was there. I was just saying horrible stuff. I womanize and talk bad about women. You know what I'm saying? I talk bad about anybody. Like I ain't really care. Until now, I'm like, okay, I can't be doing stuff like that. I had to be conscious of the stuff that I'm saying. Even though we were joking, like we grew up in Memphis, that's the culture to check or whatever, But you never know what that's doing to a person, bro. Cause I used to get talked about because I had eczema. Now I moved here from Holliday, Mississippi. A lot of people don't know that. Mississippi, we wasn't really in my area. We wasn't doing a lot of checking. The moment I got to Memphis. The moment I got to school, the first day I was getting checked in the new school, didn't know nobody. I moved from a whole nother state to a new city, don't know nobody. I'm getting checked. I'm like, damn, okay, I got to do something. I learned how to check. And, I'm like, okay, now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, I was talking about this person a whole lot. Like, always picking at this particular thing that I saw as a flaw in them. That they probably didn't pay attention to as a flaw, but now I brought it to their attention. But, that's just the way they are. I hurt them. I hurt them deep. And just learning from those mistakes, like even me knowing, like I used to get bullied, I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? And I just try to right my wrongs. So of course, I look to the future and the man that I want to be, I plan to be, and the husband I plan to be, and the father I plan to be, things like that. But I also look back and like, okay, I come a long way, So every now and then I will say, right, I'm not where I want to be, but I came a long way. As
long as you can do that, everything is fine. Like I think now people just beat themselves up when they just negate the road. Like how can you know that you on this street, but you know that the street is a whole lot of street behind you.
Right.
So like, don't forget about that. I think we have a mentality where it's like we just starting or whatever, and that's cool, but you really didn't just start. You just went to another chapter, or built to another level. Because when you look at your life, when you look at 31 years, like, come on, bro, you can't sit up here and just be like, oh man, blah blah blah. Like, it's like when you 30, like, oh, nah, you did a lot. You did a lot, man. Now if you like kids do be saying to me like 18 and stuff, like, man, I've been through a lot. I said, you 18, you ain't been through a lot. Now when you 30, okay, yeah, you've been through stuff. Like, I don't care who you are, you've been through stuff when you're 30. I don't care who you are. So like, I just feel like the perception is just make sure, like, whoever watching this, like, just make sure you congratulate what you already done and continue to go in the right direction.
Right, celebrate those small wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Celebrate those small wins, but don't celebrate too much. I think just because you got that one win that is done now.
Yeah,
you gotta keep you back. You gotta be consistent with it.
Yeah, definitely gotta do that. So next thing we want to talk about, man, is fatherhood. Being a father. So I can't relate. You know, wise man once said, I don't want to join the family. No, I cradle. But it's like, but I do want to talk about it because I haven't had I haven't had a father on my podcast yet, so I really wanted to get your insight. I guess you're the first father that I had on this podcast. So you set the tone, man. Because like I said, in the future, man, we're gonna have like probably multiple fathers on the panel, right? But right now, I think more so is, man, like, what message do you have to Ja Morant's father?
T. Morant?
Yes. Or I'm asking you the question because I'm not a dad. What would you say to him if he was here right now? What would you say? I know it's kind of a heavy question to ask.
You know, I've read a little bit about what he did. I've looked at the videos, Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually a fan of Ja.
Yeah, me too.
I've been Ja Morant. I've done questionable things. You know what I'm saying? I've hung around people that I probably shouldn't have been around.
Yeah.
Had certain influence around me that I probably should have distanced myself around. But we don't really know Ja's background. T, we don't know y'all background. We don't know where he come from. You know what I'm saying? Only y'all truly do. So for people being on the outside looking at it and say, he ain't even come from that. He ain't even like that. He didn't grow up around that. He wasn't around the type of, you don't know what he was around. You know what I'm saying? Also, I was never 23 with $180 million bag. I didn't have millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? 23, I was barely $1,000 there. So, you know, things change when you get money. But T, what I would say is, I love the way that he's biggest fan. He his son biggest fan. You dig what I'm saying? So continue to be a cheerleader for your son. He need it. He deserves it. I'm saying, and he's a class clown.
Yeah,
he's a class clown. I had like 4 class clowns. All of them had the same thing coming though. But we ain't gonna get into all that. All of them had the same thing coming. They had a problem with me. They had a problem with me, the type of man that I am to them in the classroom. Like, I know they probably used to, boy, sit your ass down. Nigga, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. I'm like, hey, I'm telling them. I told the young ladies, you intelligent, beautiful young lady. I told the gentlemen, y'all some handsome, intelligent young men. I used to tell them, man, you know what the boy told me?
What?
I said, you intelligent. No, I ain't. No, I'm not. I said, you smart. No, I'm not. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, why would you say that? He's like, cause I'm not. I said, man, I'm gonna pray for you. He's like, I don't want you to pray for me. I want to stay the way I am. He told me, he said, well, I grow up and be a gangster.
Yeah,
but
influence around.
And then what if he say, I'm a gangster proud of him. I'm proud of him. I'm a gangster grandpa. I'm proud of him.
He told me that, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Every day used to weigh on me. I go home talk to my fiance. I'm like, man, I got this one boy. He want to be so hard. He really not hard. I remember when I first got there, man, it was sweet. He was quiet now, but they all started hanging around each other. Now he took on a persona that's not even him. So I'm like, he acting hard with me every day. He get disrespectful with me every single day. And I got more than just them 4 boys. It's like 20 boys, you know what I'm saying? So it's not me, obviously. It's something about me, but it can't be me because all the rest of the boys don't feel that way, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, they love me at the school. I'm not trying to toot my horn. They love me. See Mr. Thomas shake my hand, they hug me, dap me up, you know what I'm saying? When I started AMP camp, the whole school of boys wanted to join, you know what I'm saying? Everybody couldn't join, everybody wanted to join. Everybody mama signed the form, but only like 20 or 25 consistently came. But man, it was just these 4. One of them, he actually hit me, man. He got to fight with his friend. Like I said, all 4 of them was friends. He got to fight with one of the 4. And I told the women teacher, I like, let them fight. I've been in fights. It's gonna last about 10 seconds. Let them fight. Because you try to break them up, they gonna try to hit you. You know what I'm saying? Or not try, they gonna hit you. Let them fight. So I went over there, broke the fight up. Told the one gentleman, I like, go to the office. Got the other one, he ain't really want to fight no more. He still pushing and puffing and hit his hands together. He ain't really want to fight no more. So I was able to calm him down.
That's the elementary school.
Elementary school. So the other one come running back, trying to get to the boy. So I pushed him back. I said, hey man, go to the office. I just told you to go to the office. So as I pushed him back, he smacked my arm. I started laughing and I kind of walked off. So I guess because I laughed at what he did, you hit me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. You just hit me. I'm not finna hit you. So I walked off. So I see him in my peripheral. He run up and he like yelling while he running. He tried to hit me back while I just ducked. And then another teacher grabbed him. Yeah, he tried to hit me. He got expelled for that. Like the last month of school year.
What?
Mm-hmm. Last 2 months or something like that.
So at this point, man, who has the influence? Like who does?
NBA young boy, Lil Durk,
It's them?
Man, yeah, the rappers for sure. I'm gonna get back to T.
Okay.
Alright. No, man. You know, his father's biggest cheerleader. Keep doing what you're doing. That's the only thing that you can do. Ja. It's up to you, man. You're gonna have to change your environment. You know, I wouldn't even say separate yourself from your friends fully. Like, we not gonna know what's going on. The public not gonna know what's going on. But you got to clean up your social media. Social media seems to be your kryptonite. Whenever you get on social media, for whatever reason, things don't work out well for you. I don't know why. Then this time they saying it's a toy gun. I wish they should have just been quiet though. Because you went from real gun to toy gun. You making them look bad. Like, who's your PR? You making them look real bad, bro. But what I can say, whether you want to be or not, you a role model in the Memphis community. Like, Memphis has accepted you as the guy for the city. And you're going to have to carry that weight as a 23-year-old. I think you're 23. You're going to have to carry that weight as a 23-year-old. And, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. It's going to be haters and naysayers. I'm 31 and I don't even have the things that you have. But I have, like, even the small influence that I have. People only know the old rap. They don't know the current me right now. They're going to talk about all the old stuff that I've done, all the bad stuff that I've done. They're going to talk about right now. So people they're going to praise you and they're going to hate you. It's up to you to be T and moms and your sister, your family, y'all gotta be your biggest cheerleader, my man. Come on back, bro, and do good so we can go to the finals. But Memphis needs you.
I agree with that, man. Just change your environment. That's really what it is.
Exactly.
I think that's for anybody. When you making a certain amount of money, you in a certain part of your life, you have to elevate. Like if you have people you be friends with in high school, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't just sit up here and just say, okay, I'm just gonna be an orange man my whole entire life.
Do you believe you have to elevate and leave your friends, or do you believe in elevating and also trying to, you know, lend a hand? Like, hey, I'm up here.
I believe in helping get up here too. Like, he'll tell you, like, if you have questions about stuff. Like, he called me yesterday about something about military, and I said, oh yeah, man, I answer this. Like, I'm here to help. I just also am a person that have to see you working. Right. Like he's actually getting his master's degree right now. I talk to him every day. Now let's say that he wasn't doing this and he just was like not trying to get nothing out of life. I have to put him in a space, but I still talk to him and stuff. But he had to be all the way over there. He can't be in my house.
Right. But see, even with that though, like I feel like, so like last night, a couple of friends, but like they from Lane College. I went to Rush College, but you know we all here in the city. We got together, like four of us. We got together. And we had like just a man talk, bro. Like we just shared stuff with each other, cause you know. Sometimes men, we don't have that space, or we don't feel comfortable sharing certain things with other people. Not even some of our closest friends. But you have to be able to have that space where it's a safe haven to come and just get whatever it is that you're struggling with, what you're battling with, challenges that you have, and talk to people. Because come to find out, like 3 of them got the same thing coming with me. They struggling with the same thing that I'm struggling with. So I was able to listen to what they going through. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm going through the same thing, but I ain't really feel like that I could like tell what it is that I was going through. You know what I'm saying? But being right there, I could. Like, I like to talk to people face to face. I don't want to send a text message to tell you what I'm going through.
Man, what?
You know, unfortunately, I got underlying trust issues. Seek therapy. I'm in therapy. I take therapy. But I got underlying trust issues. I don't want to always text what I got going on. I want to see you. I want to be able to be around the energy. You know, I might need a hug or something. You know, but we need to have this safe space. Men and women, you need to be able to have a safe space where you can have accountability partners. You know what I'm saying? I
don't know why society keep talking about men don't need that, don't deserve it for some reason. I don't agree with this.
Social media.
Yeah, it's really illogical when you think about it. Like, why does everybody else need to have a great life but black men can't?
I don't think it's that they don't want us to have one. I think it's just.
No, I mean the dialogue is there. It's like okay, black men. As soon as you, I think I saw some video of saying that you got to be hard all the time, whatever. Like all the time you cry like if your mama died or something like that. It was like, bruh, like. We live in a world now where everything is completely different. It's not the same anymore. I just think that people have to respect it. Like, we're not respecting the eras no more. I think, prime example, basketball, we got to stop comparing Jordan and LeBron. Like, respect the era. Like, just like now, we need to respect the 2000s. We're not in the 1900s. Right. You know, so, like, we have to respect it. And I think that now it's like, well, when back in the day, in the 60s, like, you look at the pictures of the black men in the 60s, they look old. Like, 20, I think, what's his name? I forgot his name. The one that was the activist with Black Panthers that they killed him. Yeah, Fred Hampton. Yeah. He looked old, but he was 20 something.
He was 20, yeah.
Like, it's like they put so much on them at a young age. It was like, we had opportunity to actually navigate this information, navigate this knowledge, but we're in a system that just kind of just got to.
I feel like sometimes it's just too much information. It's like information overload. You know what I'm saying?
Without
like,
action too.
It's like you get all this knowledge, we got all these gems, but then it's like, damn, I don't even know what to do with it. I done got all of this stuff, but they also didn't have the things that we had. It's like, yeah, we gotta respect the old era, but coming into this, they didn't always have the cell phones. They didn't have computers and stuff. You know, they had books. They needed. My mom used to always say that they said, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. They read a lot of books. These days, we are not reading a lot of books. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We need to get back into reading. Need to make the family be a family again. We done went through all the eras. First, you got the baby boomers. They stuck together no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Daddy might have cheated. Mom might have cheated. But y'all gonna stick together and make it work. Yeah. They had all of these kids. And you go through the 70s and the 80s, the crack era. They putting taking the daddies out of the home. Now you got the single parent homes. Got the single moms. Got the government assistance. You know what I'm saying? Then come the independent women. Yeah. So you got the independent women, unfortunately. Yeah. And then they have to be independent. And then some of the men, we getting weaker, fellas. We gotta step our game up. You know what I'm saying? You want us to get the queens back. We gotta step our game up. You know, we getting weaker.
We're in the high value era now.
We got all these different groups of people. You know, we got all these different groups of people. Yeah. And black people are in all these different groups instead of just uniting as one group. Yeah. Okay. My brother here, he's homosexual. We still need to unite. He's African American. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My brother here, he's in the gang. He's homosexual. We still can come together and unite. You know what I'm saying? We need more unity. It's a lot of division. And like I said, so many different groups. Yeah. And you got, you got the feminists and all that different stuff. And I get it. Women need rights. Women deserve rights. You know what I'm saying? You got the feminists. So you got black women over here. You got, your homosexual men. You got your homosexual women. You got your gangsters. You got your womanizers. You got all these different type of people. When really we just need to come together.
Because the crazy part about it is, spoiler alert, we can learn from all of them.
Yeah.
We can learn from all of them. Learn something.
Exactly.
Even the homeless person. I mean, I just think that in society we don't see that no more. We just think that we just above certain people, above certain things and stuff that's we don't agree with, but we can't even try to entertain.
You gotta agree to disagree.
Yeah, like I think you gotta have an open mind, and that comes with maturity as a person. I think a lot of people like being, like you talked about earlier, like I heard that before, but the way you said it was the same way. If you're not growing, if you're not growing, you're just basically stagnant. You know what I'm saying? You're just being stagnant in life, and if you're not hurting, you're not growing. Like when you go lift or whatever, like you can feel that pain. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. That's what it is. When you're uncomfortable, you're growing. That's what you were saying. Like you gotta be uncomfortable to get there. Like it don't feel good at first when you're doing stuff, but when you start doing it, you start okay, I'm kind of comfortable. Let me challenge myself and do this and do that. Like I think that's where that growth comes in. But we also gotta understand that it's power in community. Like I was talking about earlier, you should be able to have a point in your life where you're like, man, I've gotten so far in my life. I'm at a point now where I created up my own space. I'm sharing space with somebody I went to school with, and we didn't rob nobody and kill nobody, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't went through those traumatic times like that. We still made the best of our situation by being here in Memphis. I feel like the dialogue is Memphis, it's hard to get out of here, and like with the Chicagos and the world and stuff like that. But Memphis made us. And we're not a product of the environment. We're like an over product. Like we like the 4.0 version. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but my last question is, what advice do you have for people that are expecting to become a father or already fathers now? Like, what advice do you have for like fathers in general?
Yeah, I'm glad you went back to that. I showed like, damn, I forgot to touch on that. Fatherhood. What I can say, man, being a parent would change your life. Each one of my kids have brought something great out of me. I had my first son, or after third, that's what I call love. That's when I knew what true love was. At the time, I loved his mom. I thought we was gonna be together forever. But once I had my son, this is what love is. Because I would literally die for this, for this baby that I had. You stop being selfish, you stop being selfish, you think about more than just yourself. You're like, okay, well, what about my kids? You know what I'm saying? I gotta do this for my kids. Okay, I want to go to this party now. I need to spend this time with my son. I used to smoke a lot of weed. A lot of drinking. yes, colleagues of mine. If you didn't know, I got a pass. You know, I used to smoke a lot of weed, but once I had my son, I said, nah, I'm not smoking weed no more. Start smoking weed. Start smoking weed for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I started smoking weed because I didn't want to come home. Like, weed made me like think, and I used to overthink about life. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't even want to have it around my son. I don't come home drunk, none of that. Then I had my second son, Ramik. That was called patience, you know what I'm saying? This was during the pandemic. Had to have nothing but patience. And I was like, man, he gonna teach me to have patience, you know, with myself, with being a father, with forming whatever type of relationships, because myself and his mom, we weren't together, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, it's not even kinda, I done started a generation of curse that I didn't want, because now I done created 2 broken homes. I had to put that on myself. It's not on the moms. I got to put that on me, you know what I'm saying? Because I should have been more responsible. And had my second son taught me patience. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to get through anything in life, I'm going to have to have patience. I can't expect everything to happen right now when I want it, you know what I'm saying? I had to be patient with him getting here, to be patient with him, his mom and our relationship, whether we were on good terms, whether we were on bad terms. I had to be patient with all of this stuff in order to keep excelling to where I wanted to go, because I was in the middle of trying to become a teacher, having him. So I had to be patient with that, I had to be patient with my classes, be patient with making it through school. And then, you know, found my lady, got my fiance. And the crazy thing about that is, when I had my second son, because I always wanted just a son and a daughter, I said, and then I find out I have another boy. I said, you know, God not gonna give me a daughter until I find, you know, my wife. When I find my wife, I'm gonna have my daughter. So with my fiance, I always knew I wanted to be with her. I was in Phoenix at the time, and she was down here, and I don't mix. We worked together, but it was only virtual. So when I came back down here, she was on her way out to leave the school, and I was like, it's time to shoot that shot now, because I've been saying I wanted her. So, you know, after I shot my shot or whatever, and I knew from like within the first 2-3 months I was gonna propose to her. I already knew it. And shoot, she got pregnant.
Hold on, wait, rewind it. You said what?
I already knew that I was gonna propose to her, but within the first 2 or 3 months. I wrote all this stuff.
Hey, so down. You there with these 4-year relationships, man, and y'all ain't married, I understand. But he's saying the truth. The truth is, the man knows.
Yeah, I knew within the first 2-3 months that I was gonna propose to her. I just didn't know when or how. And I had to stack up the bread to get the ring, but I knew I was gonna do it. And you know, she ended up being pregnant. We don't been together 2 years. It's coming up on 2 years. It hasn't been 2 full years. It's coming up on 2 years. But we joke about it all the time. Like, man, it seems like it's been about 5. Seems like everything that happened so fast. But you know, once we find out we was having a girl, that really sealed the deal. Like I said, within the first 2 or 3 months, I already knew that I was gonna propose to her, because I figured, like, what's the point of waiting? Because the person gonna be whoever they are, whether we date for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and then get married. She's gonna be whoever she is right now, even once we get married. And
thanks.
You know, she came into the relationship, you know, already with that mindset, the same mindset I had, partnership. I want to build together, I want to grow together. You know what I'm saying? She supported me. Amp, she was all about amp. And she probably more damn amp than I was. You know what I'm saying? I was more attracted to that, not even the looks. Now she beat my wife. My fiance is fine. You know what I'm saying? My fiance is fine as hell, but I was always attracted to her intellect and, you know, just her whole mindset. And you know, once I found out we had a little girl, like, it's a wrap. Shout out to God. I told God one day, like, you know, every couple has every couple gonna argue or something. We had a disagreement. I went home, I sat on the couch, I got to grab the Bible, started reading the Bible a little bit. I was finna take it out. I put the Bible on my chest. I kid you not, later I said, God, if I'm supposed to marry this woman, I need a sign. I need a sign as soon as possible. And this was probably like December 27th or something like that. Found out she was pregnant December 31st. I was like, damn, is this a sign? I was like, is this a sign?
It comes so quick,
I'm like, is this a sign?
Hey, intentional prayer is real, man. I don't care. Intentional prayer, like you just said, that's intentional prayer. That's an example of it.
You don't have to be super duper religious, man. Like, I literally just got baptized. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm still learning. It's still a battle every day, uphill battle. Yeah. But once we found out she was having a daughter, bro, like, I was like, yeah, this the one. And every one of my children's births has been special, but this one right here, it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was like different. I cried when I had all my kids. I didn't cry in the room, but I cried when I had all my kids. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just get alone, I'm gonna cry. But man, we cried together, bro. Like we cried together as it was time for her to push. We was in there boo-hooing like two big ass kids. We were in there crying together. And you know, just to see my daughter and see her mama, and you know, to know everything that my fiance has prevailed through. You know what I'm saying? She's been through a lot, and to know everything she's prevailed through. And then at first she didn't even know that she thought she wasn't gonna be having children. And for her to be able to have a child and birth my first daughter, bro, and for, you know, just the relationship that we have and everything that we've been through and she's been through and I've been through individually, bro. You know, let me slow down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was just a beautiful thing. And what I can say to fathers out there, you're not gonna be perfect. And me having 3 kids, whether you got multiple kids by 1 woman, 2 women, 3 women, whatever the case may be, you're not gonna be perfect. Everything's not gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel bad. I beat myself up about it because I know my oldest son, he lives with me. Me and his mom co-parent. We got a great co-parent relationship, and then, you know, me and my fiance, we live together. So I have my oldest son and my daughter in the same household with me, but my youngest son stays in Kansas. It's a 7-hour drive. I don't know how long it is by plane, but it's a 7-hour drive. You know, I see him whenever I can. With me being a teacher, the good thing about that, I got breaks. You know, I try to see him whenever I can. But, you know, I beat myself up a lot because I know for a fact that, I mean, he kind of gonna get the short end of the stick because his father's not in the same city and state with him. I can't see him when I want. He can't see me when he wants, and that sometimes get tough. And what you have to do is just gotta keep on keeping on. You gotta know that the effort that you putting in, although right now it seems like it's tough, it seems like it's not getting anywhere. You want to be around all your kids and have them all together at one time. Just know that in the end, you're going to win. You're going to prevail. You're going to have a greater relationship with all your kids. They're going to understand the sacrifices that you and their moms have made over time. And they're going to understand that, you know, sometimes it's best for 2 people to coexist together from afar. You don't have to be together to be great parents. You have to learn to coexist from afar. And, you know, that's something that I'm dealing with right now, you know. Just having multiple children by multiple different women.
How do you balance that? Having, you know, being a father and having the baby mama and stuff. How do you balance that? I think this is a conversation that a lot of people don't like to talk about because it may be kind of dramatic. But like, but how do you do it, and how does it work for you to where you're like, okay, I can have that peace and my kid get taken care of without the drama? Like, you know, how does that work for you?
Well, you know, the moms have to know each other. So my daughter mom and my oldest son mom, they know each other. You know, they've talked. And we all work together as one unit to get my son to and from school, whatever it is.
Healthy, like,
yeah, you know, it's healthy. And me and my oldest son mom, we understand it's done. It's no more intimacy or none of that. It's strictly about our son. You know what I'm saying? And we're older too. We had him while we were young, but we both had time to mature and grow over the years. And we're not the same people that we were in the past. So I can't, whatever how she was in the past, I can't view her that now. However she saw me or however I was in the past, she don't see me as that now. She just know me as, okay, my son father is amazing. We strictly about our son. You have to keep it strictly about the kids. You can't, dibble dabble and all the other stuff. When I was single, I was doing that, and that was, that wasn't cool either, to be dibbing dabbing and just selling dreams. You can't keep doing that. You gotta just keep it cordial, keep it strictly platonic. And the way I balance it is, like I said, my daughter's mom and my oldest son mom, they communicate as needed to make sure, my son get what he needed if I'm at work and I can't. My son has been at the same school with me for the past couple of times, but when I went to Whitney, he was still at Freedom Prep. They had to work together to get him to and from, or pick him up from the house, or pick her up from her house, however it's going to go. With my youngest son being in Kansas, that's a bit of a struggle for me. I FaceTime him and stuff like that, but FaceTime not enough. He just turned 3, and he's not gonna always want to sit there on the FaceTime. You know, he want to show me his cars, play with his car, might be watching TV, something like that. Now that's hard for me. I can only imagine it's hard for his mom. You know, she's technically a single mom, but it's hard for me because I know my biggest thing, I always wanted to be a great father. Like I had my father in my life. You know, shout out to my dad. Had my father in my life, but not the way I wanted. My father got married when I was 5. And he's still married to this day. And he lived in Mississippi. I lived in Memphis. So I can already right there, the connection with me and Ramik, I can understand in my mind how it's gonna go. I pray it don't go that way, but I can already see how it's gonna go because my dad was a dad, but he was a dad from afar. Now it used to be times where I would go spend time with him in the summer and on the weekends and stuff like that. But as I got older, I gotta make my own decision. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go down there. I like to stay in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Because to my whether my mama knew it or not, I had a lot of freedom when I went outside. You know, my mama did her best that she could. My mom was a single mom. I'm the oldest of 3. Dang, this shit long as hell.
That's how I'm saying it, right? I'm get the story, man. I got one more question after this, and then we go.
So what was that? So yeah, you know,
you talking about you coming to Memphis and your mom, freedom.
Yeah. So I had a little bit more freedom and leeway, whether my mama knew it or not, just being in Memphis. So I didn't want to go down to Mississippi. I feel like they were going to put like a cramp in my young preteen style or whatever. And I was going through stuff as a preteen, teenager, young man that I probably should have been having my daddy around for. But because he didn't understand, well, he didn't know because I wasn't telling him. But you know what I'm saying? I had a problem with not having my daddy in the house while, you know, my stepsisters had my father. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was jealous. I'm like, that's my dad. They got him. I'm in the house with my mama. She's struggling. I ain't got no daddy here. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting into fights in Memphis. I ain't got no daddy here. You know what I'm saying? I'm navigating through gangs. I ain't got no daddy here. I'm teaching myself how to play football. Yeah, daddy, you can tell me all this stuff. My daddy is spiritual. He very spiritual. He really in tune with God. Now he the one that made me really want to get in tune with God. But you know, my daddy telling me about Proverbs. I was going to read Proverbs, Book of Wisdom. He tell me to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for you to tell me to do it, but if you're showing me and I'm seeing it, it'll work a little better. So I struggled growing up because I didn't have my daddy physically there with me all the time. Now, my dad did come to some football games, came to track me, you know, did the best that he could. One thing I do understand about when parents are divorced and stuff, you got to get both sides of the story. And once you get both sides of the story, it's up to you to decipher, okay, how am I going to feel about my parents? How does my dad really feel about me? Because I had this picture that my daddy felt about me, it wasn't even true. Until I mustered up the courage enough to just ask him and tell him how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I told him how I feel. You know, we shared tears together, and we got over it. Relationship better now. You know what I'm saying? My mama has always been my best friend because my mama has always been there. And so when it comes to my younger son, I kind of feel like he's going to be in that same position. And that eased me up inside. I'm like, damn, I know how I felt about my daddy. Even though my daddy probably didn't feel this way. My daddy probably wanted so very badly to be in the same city with me and be able to do all these things. He has obligations. You know, he's obligated to his wife, obligated to his family. My daddy definitely did for me. My daddy provided for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like certain stuff I missed because he wasn't physically there. And it's like I'm having that battle with myself because I'm technically putting my younger son through the same thing. You know, unfortunately. And I'm gonna work to make that better as best I can. But like I said, fathers out there, your children need you. Yeah, mamas, they need their mamas, but we just come with something different. You know what I'm saying? We just come with something different. I can tell, like my son, he's always, my oldest son, he always looking to see if I'm watching whatever it is that he's doing. When he played soccer when he was 4, he running, but he looking to see if daddy looking. They want our attention. They want our praise. My son now, he wants to play football, so we've been doing football practice. He want to make sure I'm there. He want, Dad, you gonna watch me? Dad, I'm playing Fortnite. Watch me do this. Dad, I'm playing Call of Duty. Watch me do this. Like, watch me do this. Dad, come do this with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do it. Whether you tired or not, it's been some days, bro. It's been some days I've been tired. And I tell my fiance, I'm like, man, I really don't feel like doing, you know, but I'm gonna have to balance this and make it work. It's not easy at all. Like, I literally, and she knows it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her again. She knows I would go sit in the car, I would go sit in the little office area, and I just got to sit there and I have to think, bro, because I'm like, man, I just worked with, I just had some type of interaction with about 300 kids at school. Mm-hmm. Now my son wants dad to be dad. After I've been somewhat of a dad to all, I'm tired. Yeah. I started thinking like, damn, what is it like me telling my son I'm tired? But he literally seen me at school, high-fiving all these kids, hugging them and all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like celebrities.
It beats me up. So I go to the office and I just I journal. Mm-hmm. So one thing I do, I journal, I pray, I try to read the Bible as much as I can. If I don't do nothing else, I'm for sure praying. And you just gotta breathe, man. You got what you say earlier, give yourself some grace. Yeah. Give yourself some grace. Yeah. And you just gotta breathe, man, because it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But as long as you making sure that you put effort in, now I can't say nothing to you deadbeats out there, but as long as you put some effort in, bro, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna work out for you.
Man, this is a lot. There's a lot of gems, man. We had a lot of gems today, man. But last but not least, man, I just wanted to let you know that give you your flowers, man. Like, I'm proud of you, man.
Appreciate that.
You've been doing a lot from the time I've known you. I know that we didn't interact much in school, but I have seen your growth. And that's why I reached out to you, because I was like, it's people. There was a part of me and of Ridgeway selling like that core, like, and you could see the development and see what the dividends are. But you definitely doing it, man. And you're in the right space and the right mindset. You don't wear what you're going through. I think that's a blessing because that means you're doing something right. Because you got people that's probably in the same exact situation you in, but they're not treating it like that. Right. You carrying it on your back and you actually walking with it. It's like, hey, I got this. You know what I'm saying?
Look here, man.
I ain't trying to be drink challenge. This is why I invite people to the podcast to tell your story and let you know, like, hey, man, I see what you doing and you doing. You got the shirt on and say it, like, and you doing what you doing. Like Joe Cole said, you doing what you doing because nobody can do it. Like, that's what it is. So you thinking and speaking and living it. You just told this story to everybody. I know this is going to definitely inspire somebody today. I know this was a dope episode, man, and I'm glad you came, bro, and I'm forever grateful for you coming today.
Man, I appreciate you listening, man. I know I talk too damn much.
We ain't talk too much, man, but we gonna be out, y'all. But thank y'all all for watching, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm gonna put his tags in here as well.
And we gonna
see y'all next time, all right?